Hello everybody, my name is Benji, and welcome back to Satisfactory. We're doing a little bit of an in-between thing, because before next stream, where we're going to be working on the fuel power plants, I would like to have the hover pack unlocked for ease of transport and ease of being able to view the factory from a distance without having to use a bunch of ladders and stuff. So currently, we are waiting on a bunch of space elevator parts to craft over in this area, and we need nothing there other than time and power, which we have enough of currently. Only barely, though. So in the meantime, I figured I would come over here to the train railway and start to fix some of the things that are giving me a little bit of a migraine at the moment. The first of which is this little bendy bit in the track. I am not a fan of that bendy bit in the slightest. So we are going to solidify this a little bit more, get that nice big ol' straightaway. Next thing we're going to do is get rid of all of these excess platforms and start running piping all the way down to the bottom so it looks structurally sound. I will see you once we get that done. I may or may not have almost just fallen to my death, so we're going to go on ahead and put on the jetpack so that that doesn't happen again. We are halfway there at this point. We've got a couple of these pillars all the way down. We've got, it looks like, 2 more that we need to do, and then we're going to spice up that little bit over there to make it look a little better. Oh, and we are currently having a run-in with the local wildlife again. Hello, good sir. Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, the rebar gun? At least until I get the actual rifle, which is going to be soon. Oh, I am out of ammo. Well, that was awfully convenient that I actually killed him on time. Congratulations, Benji. You are the master of perfect timing. We're gonna get back to this, probably make some more ammo just in case we have another confrontation with the locals. And then we are gonna get to work on the bauxite stuff, I believe. We should have our space elevator parts by then. Smile. I hope. Ugh. See you guys soon. So, I said we would end up being able to spice this up, and I think that the easiest way for us to spice this up is to just get rid of this whole ramp bullcrap, get rid of that, put a frame foundation on top, and just copy what we did with all of the other ones. Do the middle pillar and all of that good stuff. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. I have a jetpack on. I just need to not lag and die at the bottom. There we go. That is the wonderful train line all done. I'm gonna go get a good view of that for you guys, and see you soon. Glorious. Glorious train lines, monorail train technology. This looks beautiful. I'm honestly really proud of this. I love how it looks like it's just stretching itself into the sky. And then it just keeps going afterwards. I think that's the best part. It keeps going up afterwards. Love it. Absolutely adore everything about this train line. We're gonna head back to the base now and get to work on some of that aluminum stuff. Currently, our space elevator parts are not finished, so we are actually going to be working on a different project. We are going to be working in the MAM on the sulfur research tab. Give me a second to pull that up because I didn't think of this until just now. The Sulfur Research tab, we have the rifle available. Now that we're producing circuit boards, we can actually do that, and then we need some black powder in order to research the rifle cartridges. This will all be automated later, and a good place to automate these is usually up in this region, but I might look into doing it here instead, because the things that we need are coal, iron, don't think we need Caterium, but we might. We need coal, iron for steel, oil for rubber, and our lovely, lovely dear friend sulfur for gunpowder. So we're just waiting for these guys to fill up again. We're gonna take, what would that be, 800 sulfur back with us and just handcraft some black powder to research ourselves a rifle. Fun stuff. Then we can murder more effectively. Yay, murder. So we started the research over here on the rifle. It's going to take a little under 3 minutes. And now we have 400 black powder to craft. As soon as my button actually decides it wants to work. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to handcraft this. Yay. Luckily you guys will just get it booped when it's done. So, boop. It's all done. All 400 have been crafted. And in addition to that, the analysis of the rifle is complete. So we just need 200 rubber, which we can grab from our handy dandy storage bin over here. We can research the rifle cartridges. Yay, yay, yay. Good stuff. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And if we come over here to the equipment bench, we can see a rifle that we can build that requires stuff that I don't currently have. And then we can go down here and see the rifle cartridges, which also has stuff that I don't currently have. So we're going to put that on the to-do list, and the rifle cartridges, I think we're going to craft like 200 maybe? Something along those lines. I'm going to go grab the materials to craft these, and boop you on back over to where we currently are. So that didn't take very long, just had to grab a couple of things. We are now going to make a singular rifle. Wow, 30 hits of the hammer, huh? That's pretty ridiculous, honestly. There we go, now we have a rifle. And down here we can make 100 rifle cartridges. We do not have enough black powder to make more than that. I didn't realize that when I was making the first clip. So I went all the way to 200, and at the bottom it said 400 black powder was required, which I only had 200 left of. Yay! So we're just going to make 100 of the rifle cartridges right now, and eventually we'll be able to automate this and have it be a lot better. So we're probably going to keep carrying this rebar gun around, but for right now, this is a pretty neat animation. It's even got the little fix-it thing on it. Little fix-it keychain. And now we can reload it, just like that. And we can blap our way through every single mob in the entire game. Stole a euphemism from Kibitz there. Sorry, Kibitz. Love your content, by the way, bro. We're gonna go check on our space elevator parts. I'll see you over there. I think it's done. I think it's finally done. I think we finally have enough parts. I think we finally have enough parts. I think we finally have enough parts to sacrifice to the glorious food court gods. Yes, we do! So we can load it. Seal the package. And then we can send it. Which is one of my favorite animations in the whole game. Go, 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 go. Kablamo! And there goes the space elevator. Off to the food court. Which, yes, there is a food court at the top of the space elevator. And we have a bunch of spicy stuff. Holy cow. Assembly directory systems. 4,000! Magnetic field generators. 4,000! Thermal propulsion rockets. 1,000! And 1,000 nuclear pasta. Oh! Oh! So much spice. So much to do. I'm gonna see you guys over at the hub for all the new stuff we unlocked. Also, I realized I sounded really, really cheerful there, and that's just because I'm excited. Tier 7 and 8 unlocked in the hub, and we'll be ready to start making some projects with those after we get the fuel set up. Alright, we're back at the hub. Tier 7, Tier 8. Oh my gosh. Crazy stuff. Let's take a look in here. Bauxite refinement. Computers and heavy modular frames, that's to be expected. Radio control units, those are some spicy stuff. Alumina solution. Packed alumina solution. Why would you ever package alumina solution? That's weird. The blender, which won't be used until this. Batteries, supercomputers, assembly directory systems. The first of the new space elevator parts. Drones. Oh, drones. Oh. But that's later. And so is this. Nuclear power, which we have some spicy plans for that one. The magnetic field generators as well. Advanced alumina production with the heat sinks, the fused modular frames, other things along those lines. Where's the turbo motors? Turbo motors are in leading edge production? So you need advanced alumina production in order to get the mod frames and the cooling systems. And then you need another unlock for the turbo motors. That's interesting, because that used to be in the advanced aluminum production. Nitrogen gas, the gas wells with the resource extractors. Oof. And then particle enrichment. One of the spiciest things that we're going to be messing with in this playthrough is the particle enrichment, because you can use the particle enrichment to take the nuclear waste produced by... oh, where is it? There it is, nuclear power. By the uranium fuel rods in the nuclear power plants, and turn it into plutonium fuel rods using a particle accelerator. That is some spicy costs, though. We're not worried about any of that yet. That's all way down the line. We don't need to worry about that right now. What we need to worry about right now is the bauxite refinement, because we need alclad sheets. Why do we need alclad sheets? Well, for the thing that I've been avoiding this whole time, the hover pack. Power consumption is 100 megawatts. It allows for vertical movement and hovering in mid-air to improve building efficiency and factory traversal. Wirelessly connects to nearby power connections, such as poles and buildings for power consumption. Slow fall and disable, obviously, plus an extra 3 inventory slots, which the same thing is going to come from this, but we're not going to worry about this yet, because we're not making any of these yet. And I don't want to do those by hand right now. So this is the entire goal of today's little mini episode. Right now, I'm going to grab the stuff to unlock the bauxite refinement, and then we're going to head to where we're going to be setting all of this up. Alright, we have all of our stuff. In go the motors, in go the computers, modular frames, and rubber. All into the system, and off it goes. What does Ada have for us?
Milestone reached. Quartz and bauxite scanning unlocked. A new generation of basic aluminum parts is now available, which can be constructed from bauxite after a complex process of refinement.
Complex?
The blender will be used in future processes.
Future processes. Okay, so it even notes on that. Wonderful. Alright, let's check out some of our new stuff here, just by kind of plopping down a refinery. I'm going to need more motors, and I currently am out of motors in the factory, so we're going to have to check that out. Looks like it's not under any of those tabs. It won't be under oil products. There! Alumina solution. Takes bauxite and water to make the alumina solution, and it byproducts silica. And then the alumina scrap takes the solution and the coal and produces more water. But it looks like it produces a lot of water. I'm going to pull up a Google Sheet and figure some of this out, which I've already done to a certain degree. But not to enough of a degree to be completely and entirely confident in myself. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but the alumina ingot goes with the silica. Yes, okay, it does. Good. We're going to head over to the location that we are going to be setting up this factory, which is right off of our train line over here by the bauxite nodes and water. And we're going to get some of this basic alumina processing started. Well, thank goodness I came over here to check, because I was out of motors at one point. And by out of motors at one point, I mean I am out of motors in my factory. But I came over here to this lovely little place to check for motors and also grab some more heavy modular frames and maybe some more computers as well, because it looks like we're going to need them for future unlocks. And I've got a bunch being produced, so they're just kind of sitting here. Anyway, I came over here to check, and boom, there's some motors. So, crisis averted. I don't need to buy them in the shop with my very, 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 very valuable coupons. And now we're just heading over here. After this, we're gonna head up and start the alumina stuff. So now I'll actually see you at the alumina stuff. Sorry! So I'm trying to set up the factory here. We've got a little itty-bitty space because that's... Ow! All we should be needing... Hurt. And we're setting up the train right now and taking heavy fire. I thought that would have killed you. That's a push. Come here, mother. Come here. It's dead. Finally, it's dead. Anybody else want a piece of me? Huh? I have a rifle. And I know how to use it. Kind of. Alright, well, that's enough of that. I'm gonna get back to setting up. So, all of these resources were way farther apart than I was expecting them to be. Like, this one's copper, this one's coal, they're both grabbing 120, and this is grabbing 120 bauxite. And they're all pretty far away. The bauxite's over here, the coal is over here, and the copper is down here. Which, that's all pretty far distances. I was not expecting that to be that far apart, honestly. But it's time to actually start getting into the refinery portion of everything and start making stuff. Hey, look at that. 120 bauxite is exactly enough for one singular refinery. Perfect. Ah, wait, water. I need to get the water. I'll do that at the end because the water has some recycling stuff going on as well. Oh, I don't have any rubber for valve. Well, I'm gonna have to go get rubber for a valve and also get water from over here, which won't actually be that difficult. We'll see how much we need after I set up the system. So let's get that done. I have made a fatal error. This silica is not as much as we need to make the ingots. I have made a fatal error. All of my calculations relating to silica on Google Sheets are wrong. They're all wrong. Every single one of them is wrong. Unless there's some alternate recipe that I am just completely and entirely forgetting about, or completely and entirely missing here, then I have made a fatal mistake. Unless there's an alternate recipe, well, that's disappointing. I have made a fatal error in every single one of my sheets. Oh no. That's a lot of stuff I'm gonna have to go back through and fix. That kind of kills my motivation, not gonna lie. That is killing my motivation to work on these Google Sheets and get things prepared. But we're not worrying about that right now. The system does not need to be 1,000,000% efficient, and it's apparently going to be less efficient than I was expecting. I'm going to get back to work on the system that we're currently worried about, and then I'll figure out where to go after that. Lucky for me, even with the impurity in the system causing this to be less efficient than I was expecting it to be because of the whole silica issue happening, we're gonna figure that out with the whole alternate recipe thing, which is gonna be very nice. But this is the whole alclad sheet setup here, and it will be producing 40 per minute once it's all online. The extra scrap, so that everything doesn't get backed up, is just going to go into here. And we have the water recycling situation sorted, with the exception of a valve, which I'm going to go grab rubber from the fuel project over yonder, in order to actually get this to work properly. But I'm going to turn it on and just leave it as is, and if I have to flush the pipe network, I have to flush the pipe network when I get back. So let's turn it on and watch all of the machines turn yellow. Wonderful stuff. Barely even a jump in the max consumption, like 300 or something. Not bad at all. And we're gonna go grab that rubber now. Alright, we are back and we have the materials for a valve, but it looks like we've already got some stuff producing. Amazing stuff. Absolutely wonderful. We absolutely love to see it. Alright, let's grab a valve. Place it, making sure that it can only go this direction and into the system instead of backing up the system. And we're just going to do probably this pipe segment and do that. So let's check on this and see how it's doing. Coal is fine, alumina solution is fine. See if it keeps up with itself. Certainly looks like it's keeping up with itself. That is a good sign. We knew the coal was fine. Bauxite looks good. Water looks like it's lacking a little bit, but that's probably just because this pipe isn't fully online yet, and it looks like it's starting to be now. Should be fine in the future. The silica and everything is going into here. Obviously the silica is taking a bit, and this scrap is going to eventually overflow, which is why we have that set up currently. The copper is going to overflow as well, but I don't really care about that backing up because it doesn't have any critical system, and our outclad sheets are being produced. So with that, I'm going to see you guys over at the hub for the unlocks that we're going to be doing with the hover pack. And that'll be the end of the episode. Alright everyone, we are over at the hub and we are ready to end the episode with a bang. Heavy modular frames, computers, motors, and outclad sheets. Put in.
Milestone reached. The hover pack enables aerial overview of all powered factories, as well as easy transport across multi-level buildings by wirelessly connecting to the power grid.
Thank you for your lovely tidbit there, Ada. Means a lot to us, of course, because why would it not mean a lot to us? And now, with the rest of our motors, heavy modular frames, computers, and 49 outclad sheets, we can go in here and build the hover pack. 30 hammer hits to craft, just like pretty much everything else that goes on our body slot. And there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally have it. We have no power though. Now we have power, and that shows the signal strength, I guess? Oh my gosh. Okay, so up is spacebar, down is C. Obviously all the movement keys are the movement keys. While we're up here, we can deconstruct, we can construct, we can do all kinds of nitpicky stuff while we're walking around. And if we go out of range, we hold spacebar, and we just fall slowly down on the ground harmless. Excuse me, geez, I'm having a tough time getting that word out. Harmlessly. And we can just go. My gosh, this is going to be so handy for screenshots. I can see it now. That is phenomenal. But that is going to be the end of the episode. So, thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, because I know I certainly did. Satisfactory is a very fun game for me to play, but a lot of stuff like this does have to be done off camera, just for the ease of everything. At least in terms of this one, it wasn't really worth all of the resource compiling and everything resulting around that being on camera. Oh, what happened? Why can I not tab into Satisfactory? Oh, because I hit Z and the... I hit Z to pull up the map, but I was in the camera mode and it wasn't working. Alright, anyway, a lot of today was just running back and forth and grabbing resources. That's not really something that I like to show on camera because it's just really obnoxious for me, boring for you. It's no fun whatsoever. But next time, we are going to be working on the fuel power plant setup. I have a couple of ideas in terms of how we want to set it up and how we want to do the architecture, and I am very, very excited for that. That is all I have for you today, all of you lovely people. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.